Hey guys, it's Anthony. I am the guitar player for DiBiase, and this is my main guitar I use. It's a PV Nitro. It's actually a pretty, it's one of those sleeper guitars from the 80s. You know, something that you'd probably find at a pawn shop for like $100, but you know, it's got just one pickup. It's a mystery pickup. Whoever had the guitar prior put something else in it, and I'm actually not even sure what it is. But it sounds really good. It literally has one volume knob, which I always just use it as like a kill switch if I don't want any feedback. It's either 100% or 0%. It had a floating bridge, but I actually put a block in it in the back because I move around a lot, and I don't really need that whammy or anything like that. I took out all like the locking up here just so the strings can kind of be a little bit more free, and you know, since this isn't floating around, I didn't want to deal with any kind of you know, tuning issues or anything like that. So I use Ernie Ball skinny top heavy bottom. This is my C sharp guitar. We play in C sharp and B flat. You know, I just really like it. I like the way that they feel. It's a little tight, but yeah, I love the neck on this guitar. I love the way that the strings are set up. You know, just I really like the way that this one plays. So it's definitely one of my favorite touring guitars. All right, so this guitar is a Schecter Blackjack Atx. It originally was this cream color right here, but along with Chris's guitar, I put tape on it to make it silver. I did this a while ago. I bought this when I first joined at DiBiase, so the purchase I made before I went on the first tour with DiBiase, and I've been touring with it ever since. It's been through a lot. I have done some damage to this guitar, as you can kind of see. I've done some work. The fretboard came off. Like all the tuning knobs are all like crooked and stuff like that. It's pretty bad, but you know, I've redone this like a billion times, glued it, taped it. You know, like I said, this thing's been through the mill, but you know, it's lasted me this long, and you know, it's kind of like my baby, so I can't really get rid of it. So, but it has active Seymour Duncan blackouts. I'm not a huge fan of active pickups. Somewhat can be inconsistent, where the PV Nitro I just showed you guys, that has one passive pickup, and these guys are active, so there is a little bit of like a gain change when I switch guitars. So I use beefy slinkies for this guitar. It's my drop B flat. You know, just kind of like your standard size for when you're playing in you know, that low of a tuning. So pretty standard. All these are just tone and then volume. I normally have this guy set to, this is set to my neck pickup, which I always pretty much just have off. That way I can use it as a kill switch. I had to turn this thing around because when I was playing, I would constantly flick it up and turn my guitar off while I'm playing. So I had to switch it out. That way I didn't do that. And I had to take the little thing off so I wouldn't do that. I tend to cut myself when I do have to use it, but it's worth it. My tone's all the way up, and yeah, like I said, off, 100%, kill switch, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I never really use my my neck pickup unless I'm like, you know, at home trying to get a certain sound, but yep, this is the Blackjack. Hey guys, due to the venue that we're playing today, we had to backline all of our gear, so we're not actually able to physically be at the rack to show you our rig, but we're just gonna kind of talk about it and let you guys know what we're using. To start from the top, we're using a Berwyn power conditioner, just like your standard power conditioner to obviously power out pretty much everything that's in the rack. It's a huge rack, so we actually have one on the top, and then in the back we have another one powering you know, other things, just to get multiple power sources. And then right below that we have both his and my Pod HD Pro. We both run those with no head, just 100% through that with a power amp. And we run those straight to the cabs. You know, we have those running through a Rocktron Velocity 300, which we split, put it in stereo, so it's 150 watts per channel, or per guitar.
The Pod HD Pros, we turn off the cabinets, pretty much are in there, so basically we get that pure cabinet tone that we get. Basically, with the light boxes in the cabinet I built, I put in English greenbacks and vintage 30s for the speakers, so we really get that true tone out of those speakers without any processing. So we run the Mxr Boogie emulated sound that's in the Pod HD Pro, so it really sounds pretty similar to like a dual or triple rec. We've had those before, and once we got the Pod HD Pros, we were very happy with how it sounded like compared to the actual thing.
Yeah, very clean too. I was pretty resilient as far as going completely digital. Even while he did it for probably like over a year, I still had a Mesa, and I would have the pod. I would run it as an effects loop, but then running just the pods with the Rocktron, it's just a world of difference as far as like a clarity and just like the good signal. You don't get any kind of hum. It's just super quiet, super consistent, and super reliable. So after the Rocktron, we have a I think it's a 2-space rack drawer. That's where we keep pretty much anything and everything that we would need on stage. A bunch of random cables. We have a bunch of picks just lying around everywhere in there. Batteries, hopefully. And as far as pedals, I personally have just like an extra chord blackout tuner, I think it's called. Just as far as like if we needed like, you know, an extra tuner somewhere. Next to that is a Mxr M80. It's comparable to the SansAmp. We use that as like our bass rig. Sounds great. You actually, personally, I think it's a little bit better than the SansAmp. You have a lot more control. There's a lot more versatility you can get out of that as opposed to the SansAmp. It also has a noise gate as well, so it's kind of like a kill two birds with one pedal. Next to that, we both run our wirelesses. I personally just run a Line 6 wireless. It's digital. I know he runs the Sony.
Yeah, the Sony wireless, and same thing. It's digital and it runs great.